Hello, I'm Matt Terrio at Epic Real Estate, and welcome to another episode of Thought Leader Thursday. So today I'm joined by the owner and operator of Motivation Kings and co-host of the Sales Wolves podcast and the BreadWinner podcast. And in the last 3 years, he's gone from unemployed to $650,000 a year by waging war on personal change. And since January of 2017, he has gone from 0 to 49 million in weekly reach on social media, and he has begun to document, or as he began to document, his life as a way to pay it forward and provide value with zero expectation of anything in return from his audience. And this year, his mission is to go even deeper into showing what it takes to perform at a high level day in and day out. So please help me welcome to the show, Mr. Tyler Harris. Tyler, welcome to Epic Real Estate Investing.
And I am absolutely glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Because the reality is I did spend 238 nights at a hotel last year. I'm gone 3 to 4 nights a week. So what type of legacy am I really leaving? There's this idea of this legacy you leave for your family. That's kind of like when you're gone. But what legacy are you leaving in your family while you're still here? And so I've made a big transition in my life just over the past 3 months and getting way more focused at home and really simplifying a lot of my life. And it's been a huge improvement just in satisfaction and just the joy that I have and happiness and fulfillment. I've spent more time with my wife and child in the last 2 months than I've spent in the last 2 years. And that's not really an exaggeration. It's probably way more than that. And so I'm in a really good place right now mentally and with my relationships. And now I'm trying to figure out a scenario that I can keep that at that level while also increasing my production, increasing my income, increasing my revenue streams that are coming through to enable me to live this lifestyle that I've now grown to appreciate so much over the short term. So what that looks like, I don't know. I've got a book coming out that's called Sales Wolves based on our podcast. I've got a project called the Self-Awareness Project coming out. That's a profiling assessment tool that I found that's like taking every Strength Finders, Myers-Briggs, DISC, all that, putting it on steroids and putting it in one place. The printout's like a 75-page autobiography that when you read it, it just absolutely blows your mind. I'm going to be releasing that soon. Releasing kind of a local-based format called GVL Hustle, which is going to be a part of a local hustle brand where we're doing meetups in local towns and creating a kind of a private Facebook group ecosystem around that, just to bring like-minded people like myself, like yourself, together, but on a smaller scale, like in smaller size towns and cities, which is pretty easy for us to scale. So a lot of things like that I'm using to hopefully start leveraging my time and start monetizing all this time, effort, energy, and quite frankly, money that I've spent on building this social media over the last 18, 19 months.
Right. It's great. Yeah, when all that's ready, let's come back on the show. Let's talk about it. Let's share it with everybody. For sure. Yeah, that assessment thing sounds awesome. I always thought there's a good compilation of all the different approaches to where it can create some real magic and insight for people. The question was, so you've built a really large social media following. You've done it in a relatively short period of time. What do you think's the 2 or 3 key things that you focused on that has resulted in that, has produced these types of results?
Sure. I think in the first year, like I said, I did over 400 Facebook Lives. So I built my primary initial audience on Facebook just because I liked it better. I liked the fact that you could do live and it could stay there forever instead of Instagram, which at the time was 24 hours. Well, now it's 24 hours. At the time was non-existent. I just liked that. I liked being able to have that, what felt like a two-way conversation with multiple people there, even though those multiple people were like my friend from high school and mom at first, and then just grew steadily over time. I look back, it was January of 2017 when I started this journey on social media. I look back and I think to myself, like, what made me hang in there? When all of my friends, family, business partners, none of them understood. A lot of them made fun of me. just no one really got like, why is this guy doing this, like what we're doing right now, all the time, spending probably 6-7 hours a day on top of the 16, which doesn't even work out mathematically, that I was spending selling 3,000 life insurance policies a year, doing all this stuff. And quite frankly, I don't know what kind of kept me in the game, other than what had been just bored into me by listening to every single piece of content Gary Vee has put out, and just understanding that this next 3 to 5 years was the largest land grab that will ever exist on social media and, quite frankly, the internet, and just knowing that I needed to go all in when I could. And so Facebook Live was huge, and then it was just building that content distribution strategy, from taking a hour-long video and being able to break that into multiple posts, being able to break that into vlog content and podcast content and Instagram story content, and really understanding the elements of that. I'm a creative person, and so for me, that was the part that I actually enjoyed, was getting to actually use some of my creativity and not just sitting there in insurance sales robotic mode. But I think that's huge. One thing that I've noticed, and this will be a little bit more tactical for people, everyone wants to tell you how Facebook video with ads and all that is the way to go. I just completely disagree. Everyone says Facebook video, you got to do video, that's the way to go. To grow your presence, I completely disagree. And I'll tell you why. To me, when you're putting some ad spend behind a video, whether that video is a minute long or whether it's an hour long, someone's got to stop scrolling, they've got to click on it, they've got to spend however much time that you want them to spend on it. And what is really a 10-second view when it comes to the analytics, I have no idea. But they've got to then close out of that video, remember to like it, remember to comment, remember to share, and all that takes so much freaking time. For me, when I completely transitioned out of putting ad spend behind videos, which I rarely do anymore, and put it all behind the specific post, like a picture with a quote, whether it's a meme, but just something where they can instantly, as they're scrolling, they see it, they get it. They either like it or they don't like it, but there's that instant reaction of commenting, sharing, and liking that happens so much more than it does to me, at least with my content on videos. The key there is, and I don't know why, but most people just don't know this, is going back and inviting every single person that's liking those posts to like your page. There's a certain maximum that you can reach every day on that. I don't know what it is. It's some weird, sometimes it's like 75 you can invite. The next day it's like 10. The next day you can't do it. It probably has to do with the number of outstanding invites. But once you hit 100,000 on Facebook, you lose the ability to do that anymore, which is a brutal awakening. But I would always run ad spend on certain posts that I knew did well, and would just use those as a farm to go back and always do the max invites every single day. That's what enabled me to grow that Facebook page to over 100,000 in the first, I think it was like 10 months on Facebook, was just by that strategy. The way I would pick those posts to put ad spend behind, and this is, I don't know if it's backed by actual data, but for me it worked, was the number of shares to the likes. I always wanted to be 50% or higher shares to likes. That was the ratio that I would look at. So I'd post something, check it a day later. If it had 200 likes and it had 125 shares, that's something that I'm going to start at, $10 a day, and then increase until it falls below a certain performance that I'm looking for, and just roll with it. There's some that I've been rolling with for 14 months. I've been running ads on the exact same post, but it runs at 7 cents a page like, which is crazy. So I think it's just having a strategy altogether, and spending some time investing into knowing what you're actually doing. There's so many resources out there. I think that people are underutilizing.
Right. That's good, actionable, tactical advice we can end on.